Hello, YouTube! Nick. This.
Number 10. Joe Chill.
I can even the score for you with Thomas Wayne. He's the reason you're in here, not me. I'll make sure he suffers, him and his whole family.
We've seen it time and time again. The pearls, the bullets, the fleeing gunman. But the man behind the gun that typically ends Thomas and Martha Wayne's lives is often overlooked. Depending on the adaptation, Joe Chill is anything from a common crook to a hitman. Whatever his formal profession or backstory may be, he is ultimately the one who fires on the Waynes.
You are the slinking coward who murdered Thomas and Martha Wayne.
That was a lifetime ago.
The criminal's brutal actions inspire Bruce to don the cape and cowl as Gotham's hero. While Chill initially gets away, he often pays a terrible price for his crimes later on. No matter how the villain's life ends, he's commonly the one there when Batman begins.
Funny. Because I started you off as Batman. Those other mugs made me pay.
Number 9. The Penguin.
You're an unstable lunatic, Penguin, and people are going to see right through you. I've got the judges, the unions, the GCPD, and a whole team of legal experts behind me. What do you got?
I have me.
To the surprise of many Gothamites, Oswald Cobblepot became one of Gotham City's most prolific gangsters. Whether he has bird-like features or just wears black and white, enemies typically underestimate him and think calling him Penguin was funny. But Cobblepot's actually a master manipulator who knows the value of information. He can easily blackmail others or use gossip to set enemies against each other.
To govern this city, one should be legally elected, which is why I, Oswald Cobblepot, announce my candidacy for the office of mayor. And I demand, and the people demand, that an emergency election be held forthwith.
While Penguin isn't a physical match for Batman, the villain has plenty of tricks up his suit sleeves. Cobblepot can utilize trick umbrellas, hire thugs to fight the Dark Knight, or concoct a long-term plan that puts him on top. While people still might assume Penguin is harmless at first glance, Batman will never make that mistake.
What do you want?
The direct approach. I admire that in a man with a mask.
Number 8. Scarecrow.
Would you like to see my mask? I use it in my experiments. Probably not very frightening to a guy like you.
Jonathan Crane's childhood trauma made him obsessed with fear and the idea that he could control it one day. While he was ruining his reputation by experimenting on people, he developed a fear toxin. This hallucinogenic drug makes even Batman's worst nightmares feel extremely real. Since the Dark Knight also uses fear as a weapon, Scarecrow is his perfect psychological match.
Oh, having trouble. Take a seat, have a drink. You look like a man who takes himself too seriously.
Crane is a big enough threat when he just has his fear toxin and creepy mask, but there are some versions that choose to become even more dangerous by wielding themed weapons like scythes. Each and every time an armed or unarmed Scarecrow shows up in Gotham, Batman is tasked with overcoming fear itself.
Hold still.
This will sting a bit.
Number 7. The Riddler.
Can you rephrase that in the form of a riddle?
There was no riddle. That's the point.
Maybe I'm trying something new.
One of Batman's best-known villains is Edward Nygma. He's the man with all the answers and the questions. Well, more specifically, riddles. But don't let his seemingly silly love for brain teasers fool you. While the Riddler isn't the most intimidating rogue to look at, a few of his twisted schemes have left Batman puzzled. The narcissistic megalomaniac Nygma likes to use his genius to come up with puzzles that put others in great peril.
And I'll be one step closer to introducing myself to Gotham. Once and for all.
He doesn't care who gets hurt in his pursuit to prove that he is one of the smartest people in Gotham. In some iterations, Riddler becomes smart enough to figure out who Batman really is. There's really no question as to why Nigma is such a problem for the world's greatest detective.
You tell riddles a fifth grader could solve, and you call yourself the Riddler. The sheer lack of imagination is staggering.
You take that back!
A one-gimmick hack. The joke of the underworld.
Damn you! Shut up!
Number 6. Two-Face. Harvey Dent was once a successful district attorney that was close to Bruce Wayne and Jim Gordon. While the legal-minded man's noble efforts earned him public adoration, he secretly had a dark side. In many versions of his story, the suppressed anger Dent kept contained for years boils to the surface when half his face is scarred. He soon becomes a dichotomous villain named Two-Face, who leaves both mundane and brutal decisions up to the flip of a coin.
You're a lucky man. He's not. Who? Your driver.
What makes this villain stand out in Batman's Rogues Gallery is his truly tragic journey. Although he wanted to save the city, his suffering turned him into one of Gotham's biggest threats. Batman's reminded of the dear ally he lost whenever he looks at Dent's face.
It's not about what I want. It's about what's fair!
Number 5. Poison Ivy.
You're going back to Arkham, Ivy.
Oh. Is Batman your new boy toy?
While the alluring Poison Ivy insists that she only wants to save the environment, Batman knows that she's one of his deadliest foes. She often sees humanity as an obstacle in her goal to save nature. When Poison Ivy isn't using her masterful ability to command plant life, she's utilizing her powerful pheromones to control people's behavior.
Don't worry yourself with anyone or anything, except pleasing me. Now bring me my money.
She can ensure that everyone from the Dark Knight to the Man of Steel does what she wants. And Poison Ivy's incredible power set makes it very difficult for Batman to fight her. Although she absolutely does not need help, she has a habit of teaming up with fellow villains and antiheroes. Poison Ivy has definitely blossomed into a supervillain we can't take our eyes off of.
Let her go! Ivy, always a delight!
Number 4. Mr. Freeze.
Rest well, my love. The monster who took you from me will soon learn that revenge is a dish best served cold.
Mr. Freeze has one of the saddest origins of any Batman adversary. In many continuities, cryogenic scientist Victor Freeze is completely focused on finding a cure for his terminally ill wife Nora. After cryogenically freezing her to preserve her life, he has an accident with icy chemicals that requires him to wear a special suit to survive. Mr. Freeze's desperate need for money and quests for revenge against old enemies causes him to run into Batman countless times.
This is a personal vendetta. It doesn't concern you.
It's my concern now.
Since you ally yourself with my enemies, you leave me no choice.
However, the Dark Knight frequently wants to help instead of hurt the Doctor. Although Freeze has occasionally worked with Batman, the Doctor's desire to do anything for Nora always wins out. This tragic antagonist will embrace the darkness if it means saving his wife.
I can only beg your forgiveness and pray you hear me somehow, someplace.
Number 3. Ra's al Ghul.
Here is your legacy, Damien. Here is your inheritance. The League of Assassins.
Serving as the mystical leader of the League of Assassins, Ra's al Ghul seeks to eradicate humanity's evil. Unfortunately, he believes fixing the world is worth destroying institutions, cities, and people. Variants of Ra's tend to have centuries added to their lives after bathing in Lazarus pits. This act has given the villain plenty of time to master martial arts that worry Batman. Despite constantly clashing with the Bat, Ra's al Ghul respects the hero.
My admiration for you was well-founded, Detective.
Too bad I can't say the same.
Shall I dispatch him, Master?
No.
The League of Assassins leader even wanted Batman as his successor. But the closest Ra's got was seeing his daughter Talia and Bruce have a son named Damien. Unsurprisingly, the boy's birth didn't fix everything. As long as Ra's evil plots put innocent lives in danger, Batman will stop him.
Perhaps, Detective, it is time that you and I finally finish this.
It is the only chance you will have to stop that satellite.
Number 2. Bane.
Theatricality and deception. Powerful agents to the uninitiated. But we are initiated, aren't we, Bruce? Members of the League of Shadows.
The man famous for breaking the bat is often the bane of Batman's existence. This villain's path to evil started when he was forced to grow up in a brutal prison to pay for his father's crimes. After spending years sharpening his body and mind, he took part in experiments for a drug known as venom.
Stupido bat. My venom is stronger.
This substance improved his physical strength so much that he became a gigantic problem for most heroes. Although Batman can get around Bane's massive muscles, that's only half the equation. Since the villain's brain is as big as his biceps, the Dark Knight always has to be careful to avoid falling into a psychological trap. We don't think this villain will be satisfied until he permanently breaks the bat.
Tell me where the trigger is. Then you have my permission to die.
Number 1. The Joker.
I don't want to kill you. What would I do without you? Go back to ripping off mob dealers? No. No, you complete me.
Was there ever any doubt that the Clown Prince of Crime would stand at the top? Batman's greatest enemy has presented himself as a campy prankster, a crime kingpin, a trigger-happy maniac, and more over time. But Joker's one constant in every adaptation is that he is highly unpredictable. As Joker commits unspeakable crimes, Batman is always unsure whether the clown wants to torment Bruce, decimate Gotham, or just have fun.
Silly goose, it's all a joke. Everything anybody's ever valued or struggled for, it's monstrous. Why can't you see the funny side? Why aren't you laughing?
The fact that the supervillain's true origins are usually unknown makes him even scarier. Throughout the years, everyone from Mark Hamill to Heath Ledger has given us iconic takes on the character. The Joker's wild nature and fascinating relationship with Batman make him into a supervillain that always puts a smile on our faces.
I think you and I are destined to do this forever.
You'll be in a padded cell forever.
Maybe we could share one.